Hello everybody, welcome back. So today is the first day of the new season, Season 16, and the patch notes are out. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this to start. I will be skipping through a lot of this earlier stuff, because it's all repeat information that I've already covered in previous videos over the past couple days. Mainly just want to be looking at the changes to competitive and, of course, the hero balance changes. That's what everybody's here for. The rest of this has already been talked to death at this point. So, Stadium, covered that. Bounties. Okay, this has a little bit more detail than what it had in the previous videos. So, as it was discussed, whenever someone starts doing well in the Stadium mode, it will put a bounty on their head, giving additional cash so that the other team has a chance to catch up. But here's some of the specific numbers. Every player starts with a value of 300 at the start of the match. Every time a player gets an elimination or an assist, their bounty value increases by 75, with a maximum of 2,000. Every time a player with more than 300 is eliminated, their bounty is reset. Every time a player with 300 or less is eliminated, their bounty value drops by 100. Any player with a bounty of 750 or more is displayed on the gameplay HUD. So it's similar to the on-fire system that's been in Overwatch on and off since the beginning. You just have an indicator of who is performing the best, and this time it actually tells you how much cash that person is worth. So it gives you a chance to target the people who are actually the problem on the enemy team. Yeah, the rest of this I'm not really going to drill into until we can actually play around with the stadium. Freya, we've already done a whole video on Freya. Okay, so here's some actual updates. Streamer Protect, new options for streamers to hide the icons, name cards, and player titles. That way they can still customize their personal appearance in-game without it giving away who they are. Reporting features, players now receive an instant notification if a player is already actioned. Ooh. Prior to this feature, reporting player that had already been banned or suspended would not result in any additional information. The instant reporting feedback feature will immediately inform the player of the fact that banned or suspended players have been actioned when they are reported. Players can now report from replays. That's kind of scary. The new feature benefits from instant measures has been developed that will prevent organized mass reporting from taking place against taking actions against players. Well, at least they're putting measures in place ahead of time, but that still can cause issues. I do like the instant feedback, though. Competitive play updates. Hero bans. Okay, so we've already gone over all of the ban mechanics in a previous video. Is that all this is bans? Ban. Yeah, so it's just breaking down the mechanics. Alright, so into the balance changes, which is what everybody's actually here for. Diva, Bunny Stomp, now combined with Ejection Suit. So they just combined the previous two minor perks. Or was that a major perk? I don't remember, but they combined the two previous perks. Bunny Power, new minor perk. Eject grants 75 temporary overhealth, and call max damage radius is increased. Okay, so that's just Bunny Power is just the combined of those. And the new one you get in place of it is extended boosters. Hitting an enemy with boosters increases the duration by 0.5 seconds. I mean, I'm definitely taking Bunny Power between those two. Hazard, off the top, increased leap flashes damage from 30% to 50%. That seems fine. Honestly, I haven't seen very many hazards at all in the past month or so. Orisa. Orisa has been underperforming in comparison to other tanks, increasing her damage to allow her to be more threatening without boosting her survivability. So, just straight up boosted her primary fire? That is probably not the way I would have done that. Because she has a very fast fire rate. So 1 damage per bullet is going to stack up real quick. Fortify also now prevents hacking. Heat Dissipator, increased amount of heat reduced per headshot by 33%. Yeah, that one's a bit concerning. Reinhardt, fiery uptake, removed. So new minor perk for Reinhardt. Refunds a charge of Fire Strike when you stun an enemy, overfilling up to 3. And Shield Slam, the distance is increased by 50%. So that's definitely going to have people taking the Slam perk a lot more. Roadhog, Hog Toss removed. Please and thank you. That one sucked. Pent Up, minor perk. When Pigpen is triggered, refill 50% of breather resource, which can overfill. So they went from one of the most useless perks in the game to something that would have been fine as a major perk. That is one heck of an upgrade for Hog. Sigma, levitation. Jump can now be held to hover. Sure. Winston, probably a nerf. Developer comments, with introduction of perks, Winston has been overperforming. By adjusting his survivability, exchanging some of his armor for health, we aim to bring him in line with other tanks without significantly impacting his overall gameplay. Base health increased from 225 to 275. Base armor reduced from 250 to 200. So just 50 armor went to 50 health. That's fine. Wrecking Ball only changed for 6v6, but armor has been reduced by 50. And that's it for the tanks. I mean, several hits there. I'm genuinely surprised that Doomfist was not touched, though. I don't know, that's kind of depressing. Honestly, I was hoping for a Doomfist nerf. DPS, Cassidy. Past noon perk removed. Instead, now has minor perk, even the odds. Regenerate 20 health per second for each enemy targeted by Deadeye. I mean, that's definitely going to make it more effective. You already have damage resistance while in ult, so being able to regen health at the same time will at least help your survivability. Still not going to make it a strong ult, but at least you're not going to die every time you try to ult. Freya. Ooh, there's a lot of comments on this. We received positive feedback during the hero trial, and it's exciting to see how much you enjoyed experimenting with her kit. However, we noticed that Freya is struggling to keep up with other damage heroes, particularly in terms of lethality. Hopefully that means they buffed her burst damage, because that is an issue I was seeing a lot during the trial, is you would have very high damage numbers as Freya, but the lowest kills in the lobby, because she could easily get high damage, but it wasn't enough to actually get the kill. So we're adjusting the time it takes for her to earn her minor perk. That's odd. Bringing it in line with other heroes. Additionally, we're increasing the number of shots before max spread kicks in, making her rev draw crossbow more reliable at all angles. Interesting. Finally, with the bola shot charging quickly, its effectiveness was somewhat lacking. We're boosting both its damage and radius slightly. Okay, that is not at all how I would have done it. I'm going to have to play around with her to see. Let's see what the actual numbers are. So, time to earn the minor perk reduced by 18%. Crossbow number of shots before max spread increased from 8 to 12. Bola shot damage and explosive radius increased from 5 to 5.5. And the damage over time increased from 75 to 90. Again, it's kind of early for me to complain, so I'm not going to say too much until I can actually use her some more. But just playing her in the trial, I was very rarely just spamming with primary. I was almost always ADSing, because that's where her damage was good. It was being basically a semi-sniper. So just tightening the spread on her primary has almost zero effect, at least with the way I was playing her. The bola shot one, I'm a little hesitant about. Yes, there were a lot of complaints about her ult being too weak, but she's going to be, with her passive that lets her build ult off of just hitting getting kills, she's going to be building ult faster than any other character in the game, so it makes sense for her ult to be weaker when you're going to have it nearly every fight. So this could be okay, but it also could be overtuned. I feel like they should have done the meter increase without raising the damage. But again, we're just going to have to give a pass to all the changes on Freya until we can actually see how they're going to work. Hanzo, please tell me they removed the scatter arrow or at least buffed it. Developer comments, restoring the functionality of Hanzo's Stormbow to retain draw progress will enable him to use wall climb more effectively, improving his ability to take space and position himself. Stormbow progress is preserved while wall climbing. Storm arrows projectile speed increased from 110 to 140 meters per second. So yeah, Hanzo's still going to be one of the worst DPS in the game this season. I mean, it'll make him easier for him to line up his shots while moving, and easier to hit at range with the storm arrows. Both good changes, but it doesn't offset the fact that he has the worst perks in the game. I mean, if you take the scatter arrow, the damage per arrow is reduced by so much. I'd have to find the breakdown someone did online a while back. I know it's significant. I think it was like it does 40% less damage even if every arrow hits or something like that. So honestly, on Hanzo, I wish it would just let me skip the minor perks. I don't want the sonic arrow for hacking the health packs, and I don't want that scatter arrow. They both suck. So I wish it would... Yeah, they need to redo his perks. This is disappointing. Junkrat, aluminum frame, now also reveals trapped enemies to allies. Good change. TikTok, the description has been changed. Okay, so they just changed the description and made it so that allies can tell when the enemies are trapped. That's fine. I would like his perks to be adjusted a little bit, but he's not at the same level Hanzo was. May, chilling reach removed. Good, that was an annoying one. Biting Cold was moved to a minor perk. Secondary fire hits slow enemies. That's fine. Deep Freeze is the new major perk. Continuously hitting enemies with primary fire freezes them for a short time. So it is a perk that turns her back into Overwatch 1 May. Oh goodness, everyone's nightmares have returned. I've only played against Overwatch 1 May in the classic events, but even those few events were enough for me to make me hate May. I don't even want to know how much PTSD Overwatch 1 players are going to get from that change. Sombra, viral efficacy removed. New perk, hack can be used while invisible. Successful hacks increase the duration of stealth by 2 seconds. Now see, I thought Sombra's rework was designed for them to... specifically to make her have to play more aggressively. But this would let somebody just sit there invisible the entire fight, just spamming hack, if it resets every 2 seconds. Or increases the duration by 2 seconds every time you do it. That's like perma-invis and perma-hack if you wanted to just be annoying. So I don't like that change. Stack Overflow removed, Fire Replication, new major perk, hitting a hacked enemy with virus spreads virus to enemies within 8 meters. I feel like both of these are horrible decisions. It's just encouraging the old hit and run playstyle that they were trying to get, or said they were trying to get away from. You're going to stay invis, spamming hack until you see a good opportunity when nobody's looking in your direction, and then you're going to come out of invis just long enough to do virus, which now spreads to all of them. So you're going to AoE bomb their entire team when they're grouped up without any risk involved. These are terrible changes. Sombra players are going to love it. Nobody else in the game will. Soldier 76. Field emergency description change. Okay, so just another description change. Torbjorn now transforms into level 3 sentry turret if overload was activated before fully constructed. So does that mean it just instantly finishes the construction, or that it just becomes level 3 when the construction finishes? Either way, it's a buff. It's just the wording on that. I'm not really sure the timing on it. But good buff. Tracer, hopefully a nerf. Flashback, blinks restored, reduced from 3 to 1. Still going to make Tracer overpowered. I mean, I love playing Tracer, so I'm going to enjoy it. But having a perk that just straight up restores your blinks when you recall is broken from the beginning. I don't know why they ever thought that would be a good idea, and I don't think this is enough of a nerf. I honestly think they could have gone to 1 just to give you 1 blink to reposition. But having an extra one to where you can keep fighting after being forced to recall just makes her very oppressive. Entanglement, quantum entanglement now additionally grants 20 over ammo. Sure, that's fine. And that's it for the DPSs. I'm trying to think, was there anybody else that should have been on here? Oh, wait. Sojourn! How the hell is Sojourn still not nerfed? This makes 0 sense. So Sojourn is going to be one of the top banned by far across pretty much every rank. So hopefully that'll make them do some changes in the near future. But my God, I genuinely don't understand how she still has not been nerfed. Wow. Alright, supports. Ana changed to the Groggy perk, reduced initial slow from 75 to 50, now deals 50 damage over the duration. That's fine. Biotic bounce, second bounce deals and healing damage and healing reduced from 50 to 25. That's a good change. That one was definitely annoying when you died to that second bounce because it just felt like such RNG. Baptiste, healing explosion increased. Okay, so raw healing, direct healing increased, maximum demo reduced. Okay, so you're going to have to reload more often, but you're going to be doing significantly more healing throughout the game. Auto burst will now do instant healing, but cannot critically heal low targets. So this is just straight up buffs across the board for BAP. Which, now that I think about it, I really have not seen many people playing BAP recently. So he probably did need buffs. Never thought I'd see the day when BAP 76 was needing buffs. But, yeah, there it is. Juno, Hyper Boost has been removed. Reboots moved to a minor perk. That's fine. Locked on, new major perk. Reduce the cooldown, pulsar torpedoes by 1.5 for every enemy hit. Okay, so she already has the one that reduces it for allies, but now you can reduce it for enemies also. Was the ally one a major perk or a minor perk? I don't remember. If it was a minor perk, then that's going to auto-lock my minor and major perks to have the reduced for allies and enemies. If it was a major perk, which one I pick will depend on team comp. Lifeweaver, Thorn Volley, projectile speed increased from 80 to 100 meters per second. Bonus healing increased from 30 to 40. Those are fine. I still rarely see a Lifeweaver, and when I do, they have very little impact on the game, so buff them as much as you want. Lucio, Grooven has been removed and replaced with a new minor perk. Amp It Up is active during Sound Barrier. Sure, that's fine. Mercy, more perk changes. Recovery has been removed. Resurrection, new minor perk, gains 100 over health after casting Resurrect. Okay, so you can go for the riskier reses without dying quite as often. I'm fine with that. Zenyatta. Okay, so is this 6v6 change? Duration before expiring when target is out of sight reduced from 3 to 1.5? Okay, so Zenyatta is now unplayable in 6v6. Like, straight up unplayable. I was already thinking that they might need to revert it from 3 back to, like, 7. I mean, instead, the original 6v6, it didn't even have a limit. It's just, they just stayed on permanently. So, I figured they would raise it back up to since you have more people to worry about. I figured they were going to buff that, not nerf it. I mean, if you just have to break LOS for 1.5 seconds, I mean, you can walk around the cart and do that. This is... Yeah, so Zenyatta's now unplayable in 6v6. That's annoying. Ascendance jump can now be held down to hover. Duality, increased converted damage from 20 to 30%. Sure, those are fine. I feel sorry for 6v6 players on this one. That was wrong. Bug fixes. Fixed an issue with Juno's Ember Skin. Doesn't say what the bug was. Kiriko fixed an issue preventing Kiriko's wall climb animation from playing after Swift Step. Ramatra fixed an issue with Ramatra's Void Barrier animation. So minor bug fixes, nothing gameplay related. So nearly all of them were just perk changes. Zenyatta got screwed over for no reason. Those are all fine. Those are all fine. I'm surprised at the bat buffs. Tracer's nerf probably was not enough of a nerf. Sombra can go to hell. These never should have been done. That's literally taking the most annoying character in the game and just saying, hey, now you can be more annoying. I don't even know if they're good. I don't even know if this is going to increase her win rate. They're just more annoying is all they are. May, people going to have PTSD from that. You're fine. Hanzo was not adjusted enough, in my opinion. Freya, we can't say yet. Fine, fine, fine. Roadhog got a major buff. Fine, 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 fine. Yeah. That's pretty much it. So the big ones here are going to be the Mei, the Sombra, and the BAP. Well, let's jump into Season 16, see how it all feels. Y'all have a good one.